This is Archive of 12, and today we have a Lethal Company song. Something Funny is Going On by NerdOut. I have been seeing Lethal Company pop up all over the place on my For You page on TikTok. This game is so janky, it is so roughly polished, and yet it has captured the hearts of so many individuals. And I think it's because of the fact that, like, it is a rough, janky mess that just lends itself to such absurd interactions. And so, of course, it's a new big thing out there. So of course it's going to get a song from NerdOut, because this is what they do. And quite frankly, I can't thank them enough for it, because this seems like a song that is just perfectly suited for their style. Link will be in the description below if you want to watch this without my commentary, because I will be pausing, I will be talking about it. And without further ado, let's get started.
Okay, now let's go inside. We don't know what we could find. Communications on, so I can call to you. Creatures crawling everywhere. Follow me, I know you're scared. Please don't fall behind. You know we got a job to do. What do we do to kill these monsters? We don't deserve to die like this. It feels like they got us where they want us. Something funny's going on, but I don't get it.
You know, the funny thing about this is that is something that I've heard quite often. Most players that I have seen who are playing this game don't understand what the hell is going on. They are just playing the game and then they end up getting ambushed. Like, they don't get it. That's a perfect description. That line right there fits this game perfectly. They don't get it. I don't get it because of the fact that they don't get it. Like, I don't understand what the hell is going on. I understand the premise of the game. You're supposed to gather salvage from, like, abandoned facilities and then escape without monsters killing you. I get that part. But from what I've seen from, like, IGP and Icy Caress, from a plethora of videos on TikTok, like, the game doesn't really fully explain any of this to you. And you just kind of are thrown out into the dark. And I think that's one reason why this game has gotten so popular, is because of the fact that, like, it doesn't explain anything. So you kind of have to figure it out on your own. And there have been so many weird interactions, so many glitches. That's the reason why I said it was a unrefined game, is because there have been a lot of glitches out there that have just made things completely hilarious. Like enemies phasing out of the barrier that they're supposed to stay in, and then just going around and roaming and causing complete and utter havoc for the players. Like, it's just things like that. It's just, I feel like those are bugs, but they're now features, not bugs. So yeah, no, I don't get it either. Nem, I'm right there with you. I don't understand it either. But I'm so happy that you're making a song about this, because this is a game that deserves a song.
Yes, I regret it. Coming to this planet. Something funny's going on, but I don't get it. Yes, I regret it. Coming to this planet. Something funny's going on, but I don't get it.
Okay. The beat switched, and I was not prepared for that, especially for a song that's under 3 minutes.
How much longer can we last? Is it worth it for the cash?
No.
Don't go too slow, or danger's gonna find you. We just gotta get the goods. We gon' make it out the hood. Just ignore the noises coming up behind you.
Don't do that either.
To kill these monsters. We don't deserve to die like this.
Okay, So what just made me laugh was I was thinking about some of the things that I've been seeing on TikTok, some of the truly absurd interactions that this game has inspired from the community at large. Mainly just because of the fact that, like, one of the things I think is very appealing and endearing about this game is that it is a horror game. There's no doubt about that. But the way that they present the monsters in this game are, I've seen some of the monsters just wig out. Like, they're just spazzy messes of tentacles and arms and grippers and stuff like that that are just like coming at you with no discernible pattern of how they are moving. They're just like, ah! And I was recalling some of the TikToks that I've seen where, like, people have been screaming so loud that they're being picked up on, like, their partner's headsets, because there is proximity chat. And if you don't have a walkie-talkie, I don't think you can actually talk to the other crew members. So, like, they are screaming so loud that the person they're sitting next to's headset is picking it up because they encountered one of these biological anomalies that just start attacking them and they don't know what the hell is going on. And I think that's one reason why this game has gotten such a popular following is because of the fact that this game, like, Lethal Company is one of those rare gems where, like, the roughness is what makes it fun. It is not a game that is intended to be perfect. You can clearly see that through the graphics and the animation and stuff like that. This game was designed to just be cobbled together and thrown out there. I feel like I'm not dissing the dev team at all. The dev team actually, must have put some thought and effort into creating a game like this in order for them to actually succeed in the same way that they managed to succeed. Like, this is a triumph of gaming that they were able to produce a game that's, like, I think $10 and has blown up just as quickly as Among Us did. And that's saying something because Among Us kind of, like, came out of nowhere. Like, it was out for a few years. Nobody really paid attention to it. And then when streamers got their hands on it because of the lockdown, it kind of exploded. We're not in a lockdown anymore. And the fact that Lethal Company is janky enough to capture the humor and the minds of the people that are playing it, that inspired other people to play it. Like, that's something to be commended. Absolutely, 100%. But at the same time, one cannot help but look at some of the animations that are going on and wonder, okay, that must have been a stock asset, That was not something that the developers programmed. That must have been something that they, like, purchased off the Unreal store or something like that and used it because it was funny looking. And it's all those type of, like, decisions coming together to create a game that feels so rough, and yet its roughness is the endearing part about it. The fact that it doesn't feel like a fully polished AAA game is why people, I think, are really enjoying it, because it's different, it's cheap, it's fun, and it's interesting. So I can't fault the devs for if they took shortcuts, for taking shortcuts, because ultimately what happened is it ended in a masterpiece of gaming, at least for the end of 2023, that has inspired so much hilarious content on my For You page and on so many other people's For You pages. So, like, all I can do is say thank you for that. But at the same time, I also have to acknowledge, I have to, call a spade and be like, as someone who's learning game development myself, I understand the challenges, and sometimes shortcuts do need to be taken. But I also understand that, like, sometimes those shortcuts are taken in ways that they don't need to be. But in this particular case, that worked. They worked in the favor of the developers, because clearly the gaming community has embraced Lethal Company like a diamond in the rough that it is. And personally, in my personal opinion, I kind of hope it never gets fixed. Like, I kind of hope that, like, the developers see how much fun people are having with, like, this game that is very low poly, that isn't very polished and stuff like that, and they keep that, because it's a kind of charm that you don't see nowadays in gaming, and it's very rare for people to latch onto that kind of thing. it feels almost nostalgic because it reminds me of like a PS1 title game in terms of like graphics and stuff like that. And the fact that people are not only accepting of that, but also embracing it, and that's part of the charm of it, is just, that's just a wonderful thing in my opinion. Honestly, that I'm so glad that a game like this came out in 2023 to allow us as gamers who have grown up with those kind of graphics in the, you know, in the 90s and early 2000s, to kind of relive our childhood in a way that is still fresh and new, because it still feels like a modern game, just with like horribly outdated graphics and animation. And in, like I said before, in no way is that a knock. If anything, that's a plus.
It feels like they got us where they want us. Something funny's going on, but I don't get it. Yes, I regret it. Coming to the split it. Something funny's going on, but I don't get it. Yes, I regret it. Coming to the split it. Something funny's going on, but I don't get it.
That was a fun song, just like the game is a fun game. I'm really glad. I'm really glad that he covered this. I'm really glad that you know, in general, NerdOut covered this the way that they did, because it just felt very, I don't want to say wholesome. I don't think that's the appropriate word for it, but very fitting. It felt very, very, very fitting. I don't think that there's anything more that I can say about it except for that. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for joining me. This is Arc Alpha 12, and I will see you in the next video.